She lives opposite next to you. You met Betty yesterday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's 10:30. Does anybody need a mask? I brought extras. I see a lot of noses. Yeah.
In the building, we're always Gwen, bring a second one.
She's a good Boy Scout. Be prepared. It's in charge.
All right. We have kind of a long agenda, so we'll just jump right in, get going. The speaker can go without a mask while they're here.
Anybody need an agenda?
Yeah. So, just for a COVID update, masks are still required in our community, and you have to have them on whenever you're outside of your apartment, but not at dining. So you can be without them while consuming food and beverages, but otherwise they need to be worn. We're seeing an increase in COVID throughout the county.
Over there to get it. I'll get it. We'll get it.
There is an increase in COVID throughout the county. The wastewater testing still shows very high numbers, as high as they were last summer when there was peak. So the difference is more people are vaccinated now, and so they're not showing that they're actually sick, but there are people who are still being sick. The numbers in the hospital are down, but knock wood. So we still want to stay vigilant. We still want to stay on top of it. We want to, not break the rules unnecessarily. We have had residents, and you've seen my updates. There are residents who are getting COVID and don't know where they're getting it. And the answer is, well, no, I don't go anywhere. I haven't been anywhere. And then you look into a little bit more, and you're like, but you did go to the grocery store, you did go out to eat, you did do this. So it's still there, and there's still real risk involved. But our vaccination numbers are really, really high. They're still in the 90s, which is great. Among associates, there are only 3 associates across the whole Carlotta right now who are unvaccinated, that were grandfathered in under the waivers. So only 3 of the 132 staff members here. That's very, very good. For residents, there are 9 who are unvaccinated. So, and that's okay. We support their decision, but and they're tested every week. I don't know if you knew that. The unvaccinated staff, the unvaccinated residents are tested every single week, regardless of the testing we do or don't do in the rest of the community. So we'll get through this. We'll keep going forward. I think we know what we're doing, so we just stick to it. So thank you all. Molly's going to give an update. Some exciting news from sales.
Good morning. Good morning. As of today, we are at 149 occupied independent living apartments. We will be adding one more to that before the end of literally on the last day of the month. So we'll start July at 150 occupied units. In assisted living, we're at 30 occupied units of 36 units down in assisted living, and we do have somebody joining us first week of July in assisted living. Skilled nursing is a little bit more of a moving up and down target. Today we are at 25. We have a total of 9 pending move-ins between today and mid-September. We have 1 open casita, being a 1-bedroom. We have 1 open 1-bedroom apartment. I'm taking a deposit on the second one on Friday, so we're adding to that as well. And then the other remaining 11 open apartments are a combination of of the smaller 2 bedrooms, the Montana floor plan, and 9 of the larger floor plans. So, you know, we're very busy, and we're very happy to be busy, and we're thankful to all the residents who go out of their way to welcome our new residents into the community. We did welcome 4 new residents as of today, and then we'll be welcoming another couple on the last day of the month. So thank you so much. Is there any questions for me from a sales perspective, or a sales question, marketing, anything that I can answer? Yes?
You have a new resident welcome group we're planning ahead?
We don't have a group of residents. There's a bit of a lack of interest in being involved by a large enough group of residents, being on the what we at one point was the ambassador committee, and then changed to the welcome committee, or I like to the welcome wagon, if you will. So we're kind of taking a little bit of a break. Mark, myself, and Douglas, and the department heads. We're doing more things to welcome the new residents. We have a new welcome luncheon with all the department heads for the residents. This is something that we're starting. For the residents that move in that month, I know that Vanessa has the new resident welcome tomorrow. We are also going to be doing an invite-only, kind of a little bit of an exclusive dinner, similar to how we had the welcome dinners that the ambassador hosted. Well, we're going to have a welcome dinner and invite, neighbors or people that we think would be a good fit, or good folks for the new folks to meet. So we're kind of giving it a little bit of a break right now, and then, my hope is that we can get the committee back going in its new form. But as always, we appreciate everything everyone does in a non-formal committee. We appreciate, the friendly neighbors that you all are, and, I certainly appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody who's interested in coming to our marketing luncheons. It's always we always get really positive feedback when a resident sits with a group of prospects and they're able to kind of pick your brain a little bit. So, yes, ma'am.
Do you have a list of people that are interested in helping you?
I do have a list, and what I like to do is be fair about it, and I'll kind of go down the list. And I also, depending on the amount of interest we have from the outside public in the lunches, sometimes we'll have 1 or 2 residents, sometimes we'll have more. So it depends, but we do have a running list. Please, if you're interested, add your name to the list. If the date of the particular luncheon doesn't work for you 1 month, that's fine. We kind of, we'll work with you. But if you are interested, please let Mark, myself, or Douglas know. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I also meant, do you have a list of people who are interested in welcoming the new people? Maybe inviting.
Kind of.
Okay.
I think that there is a little bit of hesitaton in telling the three of us being Mark, myself, or Douglas, because I'm assuming, this is assumption on my part, that nobody wants to get saddled with a job. My intent with the welcome committee, whatever, ambassador, however we want to refer to it, is that it's a friendly person to answer questions and help and those kinds of things.
Right.
I would welcome everybody in this room to tell me they want to be in that role. So yeah, reach out to us if you're interested in it, because as we're going through the process and setting up dinners, if you're interested in meeting someone new and having dinner and just getting to know, we're more than welcome to invite you to those dinners. So yeah, just let us know what level of involvement you would like with it, and I will find something for you to do.
Molly, I have a question.
Sure, I guess.
What, are there any new residents that this is your first FYI? Would you stand up, please?
Raise your hand, or if you just moved in and this is your first FYI, please.
Can you stand up as a new resident?
Welcome. So you will see these faces and get to know them a little bit more tomorrow, and Vanessa will tell you all about that. So, any other questions for me?
I have one more.
I'm shocked.
I like being on this side of it. What were our pre-pandemic census numbers?
Let's say March 1, 2020, we were at 151 occupied apartments. That number went the wrong direction over the course of the last, going on 2.5 years. So we're back basically at our pre-pandemic numbers, and that's not accounting for on Friday, it will be 9 pending move-ins. Well, thank you so much again. If you are interested in welcoming or being a part of an arm of sales and marketing to welcome new residents, please let Mark Douglas or I know. Thank you.
Okay, and then everybody wants to know a phone system update. Craig's going to share that with you.
I have no update.
Nice guy.
That's why Ron usually never lets me talk in front of people. So, there is a phone update. The phone system has been ordered. Apparently, it's in on a boat in the middle of an ocean, and that's run out of gas. At the earliest, the phone system we're looking
Couldn't
at
afford the gas.
sometime October, maybe. Okay. So, for those who haven't switched over to a private line that are still interested, you have at least until October to do so. If you have switched over,
Which is only 3 months away, by the way.
when you do switch over, please call me and let me know so that I can update our software.
Is that October this year?
Actually, it's a very good question. I'm assuming. I think it really depends upon when they gas the boat up, and so that it can make it to the port. So, other than that, again, I'll have updates, hopefully next month, and then if there's anything more urgent, I'll update in the weekly chronicle.
When you say new phone system, are you referring to a system that would be like for staff and management?
Correct.
Not residents?
Right, not resident. This will be strictly that's why everyone is switching over to their own phone number at this point. This will strictly be for the Carlotta phone system that we will use, that the employees will use.
How many of the residents still need to have their phone changed?
I don't know. That's...
Which is the second lowest point on your thing.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that's why I'm asking everyone to either call me to let me know you have switched over. Because remember, when we do switch over to the new system, any phone number that is currently a Carlotta phone, the 760-340 number will go away. Okay, it won't be good anymore, so you won't be able to port it over at that point.
At yesterday's council meeting, we asked how many people were able to change or keep their own phone number, and of the group there was only one that couldn't. And there's a bigger group here, and I'd be interested to see how many people here have not switched yet to a private phone. Raise their hand. Have not. I think that's wonderful.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, some aren't switching over because they're going to use a cell phone. Whatever their choice is. But yeah, no, I mean that's good. That's a good sign.
If you switch, then you don't have to do anything.
Right. If you've already
use it when you get
right. If you've already switched, you're done. You don't have to worry about it. Yep. Okay.
And the other big reason to notify you is you take the $25 charge.
Yeah, when you notify me, then the $25 telephone monthly charge that we're charging you stops. So if you want to make sure that comes off timely, you want to let me know. Okay?
I tried to make the change. After about an hour and a half, the technician said that my cable was in such poor shape, they'd have to lay a new one, which would mean tearing holes in the wall. So I chased him away. Has anybody else met that situation?
I've not heard of anybody else having that issue. I know others have had issues, but in terms of the cable, like the wiring being old, I've not heard of anyone else having that issue.
Well, I'm gonna try again, maybe a different technician.
Perhaps, yeah. Okay, if anyone else has any questions, you know where to find me. Lori is next.
Good morning, everyone. I have some introductions to make. 2 new department heads have joined us since our last FYI. First off, we have Alex Barba, who's in maintenance and housekeeping, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself.
Hi, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. So my name's Alex. I'm a California native, born and raised. I'm a UC Riverside alum, so go Highlanders for anybody else who's a UCR alum. I'm married. I live in Beaumont, just 45 minutes west of here.
We can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, that's better? All right. Did you guys catch the beginning?
Yeah.
There we go. Better? So, I'm married. I live in Beaumont, just 45 minutes west of here. I've got just about 10 years of experience in maintenance and operations. I come from Target and Clopay Building Products just before I came over here to Carlotta. And I'm really excited to become a part of the community and just keep learning and getting to know each and every one of you. So, thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right, and next we have Abby Sletton. She's coming she was an RN, and now she's going to be the Director of Nursing in our Skilled Nursing Unit.
Whoa. Abby, take your mask off, please. And tell us your name again.
My name is Abby Sletton.
Thank you.
I am new to California. I moved here 2 years ago from the Seattle area, but I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm happy to be here. I've been here a year. I just had my year anniversary in May. I'm really excited to have this promotion. I think we have an incredible nursing staff. I hope you all don't have to utilize our services. However, we have lots of employees that have been here for a very long time. I'm very excited to join those ranks and hope that I can be around for a really long time as well and try to make your home a place where if you do need a higher level of care that you're happy to be here with us. I am a registered nurse. I went to school 12 years ago at Bellevue College, which has been an accredited college since the 60s. I love nursing. I didn't become a nurse until later in life because I hadn't been exposed to the medical profession until I had an ex-husband who was a pedestrian hit by a car. And I fell in love with the nursing profession, and I've done it ever since. So it's a pleasure to be here doing it with you guys.
All right, thank you guys, and welcome. And next I want to talk about open positions. We only have one director level position left open, and that's our dining services director. I know Ron had an interview last night, which we haven't spoken about, so I don't know how that went. And I have a couple calls out to a couple other people, so we're working hard to get that done. Otherwise, we've been moving slowly. We only have 3 part-time server positions left in the main dining room. I know that's kind of where you focus. We have a cook coming on board hopefully next week as soon as his background check clears, so fingers crossed on that. And our clinical staffing still is, we're struggling. Abby and I spoke to a graduating class of LVNs, was that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Monday, I can't remember. My week has flown together here. So we're working really hard to try and get everybody on board. We have some new incentive programs. We've offered a referral bonus to our associates that are already here. If they bring on a friend or family member, we're also offering some sign-on bonuses. So, we're plugging away and hopefully we'll go. Another thing I wanted to bring up is for those of you who know Louise in the dining room, she's been promoted to lead server. So she'll be directing the, I know, right? Isn't she awesome? She is awesome. So she'll be directing the other servers, doing a lot of training. I know they need a little bit of training in there, and so that'll all be good. All right, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. So, do you have any question about staffing before I move on? Okay. The next thing I want to talk about, and I know we talked about it probably a year and a half ago, but I want to bring it up again. Our staff earn badges on our corporate software, let's just say that, and they can earn badges. 2 of that they can earn, you can award them. So I want to make you aware of what those are. First of all is a ripple, which is something, if someone does something specifically for you and means a lot to you or another resident. And the other is a high thrive, which is just like a high five. Like if you see somebody in the dining room helping somebody else out, would be a perfect time to do it. These are the forms that you can fill out. Those are kept out in the front lobby on the chessboard. Do you know where that is? So the front desk is here, like I'm facing it now, and I can see you right there. I can see them on a little bit of a table. And there's a place to put them in there. If you just want to tell somebody, Elisa is our champion for this project. So she can help you fill this out, and she will enter them into the computer, and the badges will get awarded. So all you'll need to know is the name of the associate, your name, when it happened, and how, a title, and then the story of how someone helped you, or something that meant a lot to you, or somebody you want to recognize. So these are looked at by people in Tucson, in our owner group, and everyone can have access. So this is, really important, and I would really like it if you guys could participate in that. Is there any questions kind of about that? I kind of just gave a little bit of an overview. I know we talked about it before, but I just want to remind everyone.
The other thing that the staff enjoy them and
Yes.
they publicly get.
That's right. That's right. So they will we have a Thrive TV in our employee lounge, and then they rotate and they will show up on there. And then the associate will get a text message saying you've just been awarded a high thrive or a ripple, and so and they enjoy it, and it's a great way for you to show your appreciation, because I know you all have stories that you'd like to tell, and people, because we have a great group of associates here, and I know they could really use the recognition. So any other questions?
Lori,
Yes.
I'm interested in what LVN program you spoke to. There are numbers of schools around.
I'm interested in the LVN program that you spoke to.
Yeah, we were at San Jacinto Vocational College. It's a newer branch of there. They opened up here, and so they're graduating. I think there was about 10 or 15 people.
I think that's a very good resource if you can get in.
Yeah.
Other places that have an LVN program.
Yes, and we're having.
The San Jacinto Vocational is also coming here to do their clinical rotation.
Who is?
So the same college.
The same college.
So I just signed the agreement with them this week. And so they'll be coming, their next class will be coming here to do clinical rotations. And then College of the Desert is also in talks with us to do clinical rotations as well.
Right, and I post all my job openings on COD, and they have it's called Handshake. It's where all the kids these days go to find jobs when they're graduating from college, vocational programs, anything like that. So I've got my jobs listed on there. So yeah, we're trying to make any avenues we can get. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. All right, any other questions for me? I do have one announcement. For those of you who thought you would not last more than a year, This week is Ron's 5th anniversary at the Carlotta.
Some of you didn't think it would last.
That's why I said it. Okay, Vanessa.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I have already pre-filled some of these with my name at the desk, so just feel free to. Okay, Life Loop update. As of now, there is no update. I do apologize. I'm still working very hard with the company to make sure all of your information gets uploaded to Life Loop, so I can, once I have that information, we'll resume our Tuesday classes because I'll be able to give you your username. I'll help you create passwords. I'll help you look on that. As far as the calendars and the newsletters, that won't be going away anytime soon. We'll still, before the end of the month, you'll still get a newsletter and a calendar in your in-house mailbox. So don't worry about that. As you can see, we have our TVs going around the community. For some reason, inside the W, somebody keeps shutting it off. While I appreciate you may try to be conserving energy or something, I would like it to be running because it'd be nice for those of you who go in there in the morning and have coffee to see what's going on for the day, and it's right there at your fingertips. So that is that. Any questions on Life Loop? Okay. Mr. Koenig?
Vanessa, I'd like you to consider an alternate meeting time, because Tuesdays at the time that you've had for the past month just doesn't work for us. Betty's got a standing appointment for rehab during that time. And it would be great if you would have alternative times for those of us that can't make it.
I will. Once you're fully integrated in the system, I will have multiple dates throughout the week, only because I won't be able to help. I'd like to spend time with each of you. So if I have a big, great group like this, it would be very hard to give everyone their username and help them establish a password. So I will be having multiple classes throughout the week once we're fully on the system, in the system.
When is the channel insertion?
That has been postponed because unfortunately the equipment is with the phones. So I think it's on that same boat, darn it. Hopefully by September 1st, we'll have that. I'm working with them. They need one piece of equipment and hopefully it comes in and then we can go on from there. Mrs. Kepner.
What about the channel on our TVs? When is that going to be?
That is, we're hoping by September 1st. We don't have all the equipment yet.
That's what she was just talking about.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, of course. And then I know there's a lot of committees and groups and things that you run. So if you'd like, if you have a group you're running or you need volunteers for a special committee and you want me to create a special slide for that, please let me know because I can do that. I've done that for the Cozy Corner. I did it for our religious services. So I'm more than happy to help you get rise in attendance. Okay, tomorrow is our new resident welcome. I hope everyone can attend. At 2:30, we'll have the food ready in the lobby, so you can grab your plate and a drink. We'll open the doors here at 3, and we'll start the introductions at 3:15. So it should be a nice event. Any questions for me, just in general? Yes, Mrs. Sherman?
Is it possible for you to list the movies every day?
On Life Loop?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
TV?
Mm-hmm.
Which ones are being shown?
Yes, I can definitely do that.
Oh, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell them that they can also use the auditorium for any movies that are in there, they can do private screenings.
Yes, and also we have a vast collection of DVDs, and then I always get the latest releases from Netflix. Or if you have a video, a special movie you'd like to show, the theaters always, or even here if you want a bigger group, is always available to reserve for private screenings for anything that you wish to show.
How did the new members know about this thing on Thursday?
I personally dropped off invitations to their doors or handed them to. Mm-hmm. Yes. You're welcome. All right, we have drama rehearsal today, so those of you who are in the group, I look forward to seeing you at 2. And Mr. Haran has a question.
Are you saying that I will be able to pick, when you get it squared away, pick this up on my own TV?
Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And what's really neat is, I don't know, for Memorial Day and for Flag Day, if I find really cool 2-3 minute videos, I can put that on live loop, you know. Except for Lori says I have to tell her so she can mute the TV at Cece's. But
Lori can tell you everything there is to know about Flag Day.
So we can do special things like that. Once, when we have big socials, I can put the pictures in there so everyone can see. It'll just be really nice to be able to use it once it's fully in everyone's home, and there's a lot more I can do with it. So, anything else? Okay, have a great rest of your day. Alex?
Well, this should be easy because I know nothing ever breaks or wears down here. So, first thing on the agenda is landscaping and trees. So, this is only my first or second week here. So I've got a meeting scheduled with Humberto, who does the landscaping here in our community.
Closer to the microphone.
Oh, closer still?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I've got a meeting scheduled with Humberto next week. We're going to walk the entire community, see where we can improve and do some trimming or just whatever needs to get done. That will be done next week.
Replacement.
Replacement, yeah.
In the fall.
Yeah, well, the trees will get replaced in the fall. We don't want to do anything right now during the summer. And then we've got carpet and flooring repairs. The carpet's been on order, and like you guys all know, there's been just a lot of delays with a lot of materials. So as soon as that arrives, we'll have a tentative schedule to get the carpet and flooring replaced. I know Molly's helming the tile flooring in the north lobby. And as far as landscape lighting, so the protocol should be that the overnight security should be monitoring all the lighting and tagging anything that's down so that our maintenance crew can then do walks the next day and see what we can do to replace those downed lights. So I'll make sure that starts becoming the protocol and make sure it gets done. And then I just want to let you know our goal with the work orders is to make sure that they are responded to within 24 hours. So even if we can't get them fixed within 24 hours, we want to make sure we're at least contacting you so that you know what's going to happen with that asset or repair. Anything that you guys have for me right now? Yes?
I'd like to know about the flower bed there in front of the north lobby. It hasn't been weeded since they planted those flowers in there, and it's been overtaken with weeds.
Flower bed of the north lobby. Gotcha. Anyone else?
Yeah, there's one thing. I think there's some inexpensive things that can be done cosmetically. A bucket of paint, a little putty around the doors of the corners of the town center and elsewhere would help an awful lot.
Okay. Gotcha. Just the small cosmetic repairs. Anybody else? Yes.
My question's on window washing.
Yes, so.
We've been promised for months, we're
Yeah.
gonna get our windows washed. When's that happening?
So I'm on that, so I know that we currently don't have a window washing contractor, so that's on my top priority list to make sure that we get someone. So hopefully by next month I will have some leads and some tentative times to get those. But as of right now, I'm still just getting started on that.
Over here.
Yes.
At one time, maintenance was in charge of checking our batteries and our alert buttons and our life loop necklaces. And it was supposed to be done quarterly, but it's been a very long time. Is that something that you'll get back to checking?
Yeah, so if that's something, I'll take a look at our work order system and see if we have a PM in there. So a PM is a preventive maintenance, and so we have a list of all of those in our software. So I'll make sure if that's in there, and if not, we'll see what I can do to make sure that gets back in place.
And will that include like the HVAC filter change?
Yeah, that, we just got the filters in, so we're gonna get that on the schedule to start getting replaced.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Give me one second.
I'd like to pass on a kudos here. Sunday before last, at about 11 o'clock in the morning, I realized my air conditioner was not working. And it was a terrible day for it to be not working. So it was Sunday, but I picked up the phone, put in a work order, not expecting to get a response until the next day.
Sure.
Well, within 30 minutes, Manny appeared, spent quite some time, and determined that it needed the tender care of the contractor. So again, I said to myself, well, Monday if I'm lucky, Tuesday if not. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, somebody from your air conditioning contractor arrived, found the problem, changed the part, and everything worked okay. So
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I've met my team so far, man. It's fantastic. All crews. Thank you for sharing that. Yes.
I just want to clarify, you mentioned the HVAC filters. Is that the air conditioning filters?
Yeah. Yeah, the AC filters in your guys' units.
That's going to be changed on a kind of regular basis?
Those should be changed twice a year.
No.
Should be in ours.
Hi, Alex.
Hello.
Some of the wrought iron on the first floor patios need repainting.
Got it.
I think the water.
The patio railings, the black ones?
The railings,
Gotcha.
yes. Thank you.
The ones that should be black but are gray?
Mine are green.
They were always gray. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll have updates for you for the next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. All right, wellness service, and Wylan is making her way up here. So we'll let Wylan have that when she gets here. Does everybody know Wylan?
Oh, yes.
She swabbed a lot of your
I hope that was a good oh yes.
It was.
So first on the list is private duty caregivers. And this is just a friendly reminder. We understand that you have the option of hiring outside help, whether it's a companion to help with groceries or whether it's an outside company to assist with activities of daily living. If you hire someone outside, they are required to have on file with us a third-party agreement, okay? I actually have some copies. If you're thinking, I do have someone, but I'm not sure if we completed a third-party agreement, please come and see me after this meeting, okay? And they are to follow Carlotta rules, the same rules that the other employees follow. For example, they are required to check in at the front desk. They are required to have their temperature taken, okay? And they're also required to have their vaccination card on file with us, okay? So that's just a couple of things that they are required to have with us, okay? Any questions regarding that? Okay. Next on the list is your wellness checks, the placards. So I know some of you have previously stated that they're not coming to check your cards, okay? They should be coming to check your cards at night before you go to bed. We recommend that you put the cards outside. I know some of you do not want to be waking up. I know some of you have told the staff, don't come knock on my door. It's my understanding that you don't have the option of opting out. So the best thing to do is just before you go to bed, put that card outside, okay? Any questions in regards to that? I know some of the newer, yes.
My understanding that they are not to come. It's my understanding that they are not to come before 10 o'clock in the morning. I had someone show up at my door at 8:45, ring the bell, and then go, leave, not check on me. I could be lying there dead and they would not know it. So there needs to be a little bit of improvement, especially on the time. We should have the ability, if we want to sleep until 10 o'clock, to be able to do that.
I agree.
Some of us are night people. I'm a night person. And when I'm sleeping soundly in the morning, I want to be able to sleep till 10 o'clock. So that's my problem with the system.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Anyone else?
For the benefit of the new people, would you give the times that you suggest they put it out and the time they need to take it in?
Absolutely. The placard that you get when you move in, so in the apartments you get kind of a tan colored placard, and the casino residents have a royal blue colored placard. On one side is our logo, and then on the other side are the directives on it. We ask that you put it out by 10 p.m. and you remove it the following morning by 10 a.m. It can be before, but by 10 p.m. and by 10 a.m.
And then at 10 o'clock at night, the wellness staff goes through, and if they don't see it hanging on the door, they're going to knock on your door. If they don't get an answer, they will have the front desk try to telephone you. And if you don't get a response to that, they're going to come in. And they're going to stand over you in the middle of the night, in the dark, and scare the bejesus out of you. And then at 10 in the morning, the housekeeping staff and the wellness staff go through, and if they see any cards still hanging on the door, they repeat that process. So you're actually getting checked every 12 hours, twice a day, to ascertain your wellness.
Here you go.
So for those of us who signed a refusal for wellness as a prerequisite to coming here, it's null and void?
Correct.
It's on file and it's null and void?
Correct. Yeah, that was never an option. I don't know how that started.
Oh, my move-in coordinator assured me that I could move in, sign it out, which I did. It's a watermark form, as you know. It's on file with Craig. And I said, I can't do it. It's not going to happen. She said, okay, sign the form, and I did. But it's not available.
Correct.
Molly?
I'm coming.
I want to see you moving. It was my understanding that before, if they saw a need to come in, before they came in, they would telephone you. Before they came in?
Yeah.
So why couldn't you said after they came in?
No, before.
Okay. Thank you.
There has been some talk in the past about replacing the placards with using the push buttons on our alarm systems in our bathrooms. Is that still in progress?
That is still in progress. That did come up at the Buildings and Grounds Committee. What he's referring to is the call cords in your units, the ones that are in your bathroom. There's a way that we can use that system. It's tied to the pendant system too. They're all part of the same system. It's called Aerial. And you can push the check mark on the button. There's a little button that has a check mark on it. And that will take the place of the door placards in the future. I'm still trying to get together with the company to go through all the steps to make sure that it works the way that we think it works. And so when we have that all finalized, we'll do away with the door placards. That'll make it easier for you. So in the morning, when you get up and you go to tend to your morning habit, you just push the little button, and then it sends a signal over to the monitoring station, the computer. And by 10 o'clock, we can program it to print out a list of people who have not pushed their check mark. And then we just dispatch people to check on you, call you or whatever, and clear your button. The same thing at nighttime then. By 10 o'clock when you get ready for bed, you just push the button and it says you've checked in and we're done. So as soon as we can make sure that it's all working right, and the big and is that the computer that we have for that system can't be updated anymore. It's reached a point where it's kaput. So I don't want to, it's not kaput, it works, but if something goes wrong with it, we can't fix it. And I don't want to be without the ability to do that. So when we get that all squared away, then we'll switch over. Okay?
Do those checks have a way that we can tell when we have done it?
Yes.
Like, you walk in and you push it, and then maybe a couple hours or whatever you think.
What's the question?
The question is,
did I or didn't I?
I don't know. So that's something we'll have to check. So everybody run home and push the check mark. No, don't do that.
Then you'll practice it.
So I don't know if it does or it doesn't. So it's something we'll have to look into. It's a good question.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone? Did you have a question?
Yes, I did.
If you happen to be, let's say, leave your apartment or proceed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you don't get back before 10, would they call you? Or just kind of like if you don't check in, will they call?
Well, there's probably a couple parts of that. One, if you've checked out at the front desk, like what you're supposed to do if you're going to be gone for any length of time, then the front desk knows that you're out of the community. Molly.
do you mean, when you say length of time, are you talking about like from 3 to
11 is not.
3 to 11 wouldn't be considered a length of time. You're talking about if you're going to be gone overnight.
No.
Well, what do you mean?
If you know you're not going to be back by 10 o'clock, by the check-in time, it's good to let the front desk know.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a new one.
So then, let me go back. So if you know you're going to be out past 10 o'clock, just let the front desk know you're going to be out. We won't ask questions about what you're doing. But then if you're not back by 10 and you haven't notified the front desk or the wellness staff is going to knock on your door. They're not going to get an answer. They're going to call the phone number that you have at the front desk. If they don't get a response, then they're going to go into the apartment. And they're going to go in and they go, she's not here. And then we make a note, she's not here. And we don't know where she is. Yeah. So that's how that works, yes.
I moved in here 18 years ago. I moved in here 18 years ago into independent living. And what you're talking about is not independent.
When you moved into an assisted living community. The entire community is licensed as assisted living. Whether you're independent or not, it's still an assisted living community, and it's licensed as such. And so we have to follow those rules for everybody.
But 18 years ago, it was not so.
I only have 5 years knowledge. I don't know what it was like before that, but if it was independent, it's changed since then.
When did that change, Ron? How long have we been?
Probably at least 10 years that I know of, and possibly longer.
I think it was done by your predecessor or your...
When Sunrise was here?
No.
Yes. It was when we were Sunrise and then we went back to Watermark. So that was, I've been here almost 14 years. It was, I would say right around, I would say probably between 10 and 12 years ago is from my memory when we did the ownership change.
And part of the reason for that, and the reason we have that now is if the town center and the casitas were truly independent living, there would be no age in place. Once you did not meet the criteria to be able to live completely, fully independently, you would be required to leave those areas and move into assisted living. So in that vein, it's a very positive thing.
This is a California law, correct? It's not Watermark.
It is a California regulation.
For
correct?
licensing.
Yes.
Okay, I know we touched a little bit on your emergency pendants. They're so important that you wear them. Usually when I visit someone, I ask, do you have your emergency pendant? And some of the residents don't know where they are. So it's so important that you wear them. We've had people fall in on the floor and literally have to crawl to the phone because they don't have their emergency pendants on. So I just want to reiterate how important it is for you to have your emergency pendant on you at all times.
And to know how to use it.
Yes. You have a question? Okay. Okay, so yes, if you press your pendant, you're gonna see a red light. And that's going to trigger a pager. And the staff are going to see your room number and they're going to know who it is. And at that point, the staff will come to see, what your emergency is. Okay?
Well, actually, it'll tell where you are.
Yes.
On the campus, I think.
No.
Well.
Yeah, that is correct. It triangulates where you might be. It tells us that Chuck Haver pushed his pendant and he's somewhere near Cece's. So when if you look through the hallways in the outlets, there are little white boxes that are plugged in. Most of those are for the aerial system, and when you walk past it, it's registering that you've walked past it, And so it's kind of keeping tabs on you there. And then the computer system is sending a signal to your pendant all the time. And so to Cheryl's question earlier about the batteries, so if the system sends out a signal and doesn't get a ping back, it assumes your battery is gone. It's the same way as if you take the pendant off the property, the computer can't find you, and it says that the pendant's missing. And we know to go find you. When the battery is getting low, it sends a signal back that the battery is getting low. And then maintenance knows to go and change that battery. Okay? So when we don't go through and change all the batteries at one time anymore. It's just not a good use of, time and labor and batteries. So. Dr. Birdie?
I have the microphone. I don't mean to make it long, but I had the good fortune or bad fortune to move in the day everything shut down. Okay. Now?
Yeah.
Okay. I moved in the day everything shut down, so I went a year without knowing anything. And so I've been here 2.5 years, and the question I have, and maybe this isn't the time to answer it for you, but I'm confused as to what things I can call or get help for versus running to the emergency room. Is it cuts? Is it little things? What things can I request?
So I think the question is, what things are covered by under wellness services and when should you be going out 911?
Right.
Chest pain, 911, okay? I know sometimes they'll say call the nurse. If they call me, before I even get to your room, it's 911, okay? If you're having shortness of breath, I'm gonna send you out 911, so I'd rather the staff call 911. I'm on my way to your room or your casita, but that's 911, okay? If you...
First aid.
Yes, so if you have, let's say, a skin tear or something like that, we can help you, wellness can help you with that. But we are, we can do first aid, but I think we're nurses, we're not doctors, okay? So I think, sometimes we get calls to diagnose, which, I would never do because that's beyond my scope of practice. But, first aid, we can do. Anything beyond that is a higher level of care. Okay?
For minor injuries, do you prefer we call and ask you to come over, or if it's something that is truly minor, that we go to you?
Honestly, I would prefer you call and we come over. A lot of times I apologize, but I'm not at my desk. I'm running running all over the campus. So even if you call the front desk, they know how to get a hold of me to say, hey, Wylon, someone needs to see you. They have a skin tear or they need to see the nurse. So I think the best thing for you to do is call.
And then prior to COVID, we were establishing clinic hours in the Health and Wellness Center. And so we're getting back to the point where Wylon and Helen will be setting that up and having like a set clinic hour twice a week or something like that you can pop in and have blood pressure checked and stuff along those lines. The doors that are going into the Wellness Center, the two doors that are right next to the dog park. There's doors that go in there. We're having electronic openers put on those doors so it's easier for people to get in and out of. That was one of the complaints we had. So those parts are on the boat. So as soon as they get here, they'll install them. Mr. Sherman?
Yes. I wellness center is not a good idea, but to call the front desk.
Good point.
Because they will find whoever you have to talk to. Because of the phone system, the wellness center is not a good option to call. Because if nobody's there, you don't have anybody to talk to. So call the front desk, I think is like 100% preferable.
Donna knows how to get a hold of us.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. The front desk is always manned, so that would be the number to call for.
I'm gonna go back to the,
The pendants?
I understand you can't just push it and release your finger, thumb, whatever, that you need to hold that down for 2 or 3 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes.
When you push it, when you see the red light go off, you know that it's triggered.
Thank you.
I'll just say it loudly. If we don't seem to have our pendant on our body or in a place that's visible, are we gonna get a demerit or something?
Yeah, $5 fee for watermark for kids. That was Vanessa's idea. $10 for a mask. Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Becky's going to talk to you about the kitchen. And this has got hoisted on her tip this morning, so keep time.
Carol.
Good morning, how's everyone?
Good morning. What time do you have?
So I see on the agenda here the POS system. First off, I'm going to call today. I'm going to try and focus my attention today and tomorrow on getting some sort of answers to get that going. We have a longevity with most of our associates in our department, but it seems that most of the people in place now were not here when training went through, so we're going to be starting at square one. I know where Jose left off with getting into the system to update it. I'll spell it out just for understanding purposes for you. The way the system was set up before, Jose would log in to the POS system and then it sends a code to his email, and then he would pick up the code from his email and go back to the sign-in at the point of sale, the POS system. So it was like getting into Fort Knox to get in there. And I was trained on putting in the prices and updating them, because in the independent dining room, we would have to update the menu weekly. Do day by day by day by day because it changes everything that's in there and such. To my understanding, CC's was never set up. Set up meaning that our contact with POS has to go in there and put the pricing in for CC's. For instance, a breakfast sandwich costs this, and eggs in this, and I don't know that Jose ever had the capacity to go in and set the menu up. They did that for us, and then he would go in and we could make small changes for specials and those types of things. So anyway, I'm going to place a call to our contact today and begin the process of seeing what we need to do to get it up and going. And I look forward to having Louise there as a help with me so we can get staff on board and training. At this point, the first thing I want to get in place is CC's needs to get up and get that system in. As you know, right now, there's great food deals over there, and financially it's killing your dietary department. Because food does sometimes grow on trees. But yet we need to charge for it. So anyway, that's my go-to to do. The second thing on my agenda was the
First, what's a POS system?
point of sale.
Okay,
Point of sale.
thank you.
You betcha. The kitchen inspection went well, but as anything in the corporate world, it's created quite a paper trail, meaning for every issue, there is a resolution to it. So I have on waiters, and I am currently going through everything that needs to be corrected to see that it's being corrected, the big and the small details. I do have outside help. A lot of you know Lisa that used to work here, the dietary manager. She's come back and she's helping cover shifts and fill in, and she's helping me in that way. But there's a lot of paperwork that I'm going through as far as inspecting and updating. And just an example of one thing is we had gotten away from color-coded cutting boards, and we're back to those. I had new cutting boards come in, and so there's a lot of little issues in our satellite kitchens as well. We have assisted living, as you know, and then skilled. So I'm working on all three of those areas plus CCs as far as the inspections and bringing things up to date. And so that's where we are. Does anyone have any questions for me? Oh, I thought I almost got away there.
Becky, I'm curious. I'm wondering, since we pick up our menu, fill out the menu, put it in the book, pick up our food and so on, is that helping your staffing situation?
No, not particularly.
Shoot.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, I know.
You're trying to trip me up now.
Here it is, here it is. Yesterday around 11, I walked by the dining room and looked in, and it looked so beautiful,
Oh, yeah,
so
they did.
beautifully set up, but I took a photo. So if Mark and anybody wants a photo of the beautifully done dining room, I've got.
Very nice.
I don't know who did that, but very nice.
Louise and I worked together on that,
Yeah.
and Vanessa, just to kick off the lovely summer we have here in the desert.
Oh, that's pretty.
Okay, thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
One thing that Becky didn't mention that I just want to clarify or clear up, thank you. Because there have been rumors going around, and it was mentioned to me, and I was like, really, I hadn't heard that. So imagine nobody shared a rumor with me. There were not rodents in the kitchen. The rumor that was flying around was that we had to close the kitchen because it was overrun with rats.
Yes.
So they hope none of you ordered the special during that time. It wasn't rats. There was, in addition to the other things that Becky's working on, there was an insect infestation that just took over. And the only way to deal with it was to close the kitchen, have workers come in and get in the walls and, into everything. So that's what it was. But on the same line, if you're having any kind of rodent or insect activity, or you see that anywhere, let us know. The way you do that is to tell the front desk. They'll write it into the Orkin book. They're here twice a week. They'll come to your apartment. They'll treat. They'll do whatever. So just don't assume somebody knows about it. Let us know about it. Okay. All right. We skipped over capital budget because Lori just handed it off to Vanessa, and she said, "To heck with Ron. He doesn't need to talk." And my notes are there. So we're working on the capital budget, getting the items that were approved, getting them in motion, and getting them going. Because the ownership change happened at the end of the year. We didn't get full approval on the capital budgets until in March and April. So it was a long time getting it going, moving on. Some of the items have already been done. The Well Tower Trevi, the new owner group for the property, committed $1.6 million in improvements. So sounds like a lot, but it didn't go very far. So the money is spent on the renovation of new apartments when somebody comes in. Now we're getting to the point where there's not that many that need the full renovation anymore, which is a very good thing. So there's about 600,000 of that money is allocated to the apartment renovations. The dumpster enclosures have been are complete. That was done. So the old broken down wooden doors that were on the dumpsters, those have been all replaced with corrugated metal that will last forever. They're going to outlast me. The light loop system was part of that, so Vanessa's got that going. We're just waiting for the parts that are on the boat. The electronic door openers, that's part of the capital. Those parts are ordered. We're waiting for them to come. When they come in, they'll be put in there. The other big portion of the capital budget is replace as fails. And so that's and the majority of the replace as fail money goes to heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. I don't know, any given year we're replacing probably 10 to 15 AC units at a cost of, an average cost of about 10 grand each. So it's a lot of money that goes into replace as fails. Last year, there were big replace as fail ticket items when the cooling tower went down with the drive shaft, and we had to do that. There was a bunch of other, kind of weird things that fall into that budget. The other remaining items that we're working on are the renovation of the 2 skilled nursing shower rooms. I don't know if any of you have had the pleasure of bathing in those shower rooms. It's a trip down memory lane to 1980, 1986. So if you want to relive, your glory days in '86, go visit those shower rooms. So those are getting redone. The skilled nursing nurses' desk and surrounding area that's currently being held together with duct tape. And we've made it red reflective duct tape on purpose so that when the designers came, they couldn't miss it. They're like, it needs to be done. And so that's all in the plans. The challenge we're working on in some of these issues is that in order not to have to involve OSHPD on the projects, because if we involve OSHPD, if we change any electrical or plumbing in the skilled nursing center, then OSHPD has to be involved. And that will add a very much increased amount of time to the project, and it will quadruple the cost of it.
What is OSHPD?
It's the building permit company, the agency that oversees construction of healthcare facilities. So as long as we don't change anything electrical or or plumbing, then we don't have to involve OSHPD. We just do what's called a field inspection. But otherwise, then we have to go through this whole thing, permitting project. And if you spend more than $100,000 on a project, which is easy to do now, then you have to bring the entire property up to the current day regulation. So we try not to involve OSHPD if we can. So those are the things that are happening in skilled nursing, and then there's replacement of the flooring in the patient rooms. And then the assisted living room and bathrooms are on on that list as well to be redone, and the physical therapy gym. So new equipment, new workstations, renovating the gym. So all of that is in the works there. And so that's where we are. The other parts of it, because I know you're all saying, well, that's all assisted living, skilled nursing. Where's independent living? The independent living is security enhancements and the parking lots. No benches. So we're going to find a different way to work on the benches. But the parking lot repair, when we went to bid, when we were getting bids on it, the bids came back at $150,000, which I thought was pretty good for the amount of parking surface areas we have here. That was before petroleum became $100 a gallon. And asphalt is a petroleum product. So the cost now has gone up to about $200,000. So we have to find an additional $50,000 or scale back on what we do. And which I think we're going to be able to scale back, because there's some areas that we don't have to do right now. The soonest that the company can do the work is into September and October. And so in September, October, we'll be doing some parking lot repairs. And when I say repair, it's actually taking down 3 inches of the asphalt and repaving. So it'll be very nice. And then restriping and resealing, those kinds of things. The other are security enhancements. And so we're looking at where we want to put in security cameras. And most likely they'll only be exterior, and they'll probably only be at the gates, at the front gates. So you have a record of who comes and goes. The other part of it will affect the town center and the CC's part of the casitas, and the doors that are unlocked all the time now will become locked 24 hours a day. And everybody will receive a key card or a key fob that unlocks the doors. So if you come in or out, you use the key fob to open the door and go in and out. The reason is to enhance security and to retain control over who's in the building and keep who's not supposed to be in the building out of the building. So there isn't a real problem with that right now, other than private duty caregivers. Private duty caregivers are coming on the property and going straight into into other rooms, other areas. They're not getting screened at the front desk. So any one of them could be bringing COVID into the building. We don't know that. And if you think back over 1920. Well, some of us remember 1920. 2020, 2021, the independent living residents that we had that had COVID got it from their private duty caregivers. So, there's a reason we require them to be screened in and out at the front desk. So, that's that. Karen? I can hear you, I'll repeat it.
What happens if you get to the door and your fob or your swipe card doesn't work? And it's 9 o'clock at night.
You call the front desk, somebody over there, then you go to the front desk.
You can't get in.
Is there any timing on when that would occur?
No, that'll probably be well in toward the end of the year, because we haven't even worked on designing the system yet. So to meet with the proposed people, get the bids, and go for that.
can anything be done about the Browns people? The North Lobby, as you know, is devastated by their tractors that go through. The door smells of all these like big square marks, and all of the lights today, the doors are held wide open, and they don't close them, and all the air conditioning is going outside. I tried to close it and I couldn't. And the doors are getting mangled by those tractors, and it's just constant.
Yeah. I don't know that that was always an issue. I've noticed it recently as well. So when Alex walks with Umberto is the owner of Blue Agave Landscaping. They're our contractor, and they've been here for years and years. Umberto will address that.
Because we're losing a lot of HVAC
Yeah.
energy out the door.
Okay.
We're also having fresh tiles.
Yeah, the tiles, Molly's working with Valley Glass on replacing the tiles there so that it.
Is it a possibility that when the landscapers bring their lawnmowers and little carts in, that they could put rugs over the thresholds or something? So to protect that area where the tiles are gonna crack again.
Yeah, I'll ask them about it. I'm sure there's something we can do.
And they can close the door after themselves, after they've gone through, at least shut the doors.
Completely agree.
Yeah, they
My back isn't gonna function when I get up.
All right, I'm going to call the meeting closed. Thank you all.
Thank you.